we're talking about off the field as well. What they've done in downtown St. Louis, bringing this stadium here, all of their training facilities here. I think that's one thing we can all agree about St. Louis. We love that the Cardinals and the Blues and City SC are all in downtown St. Louis. Unai Emery, he was a manager at Arsenal. His stock was at an all-time low, went to Spain, got it back, and now I think I would say he's one of the most coveted managers in European football. So he's done an amazing job with Aston Villa, and we get to see him and his Aston Villa side up close tonight here at Energizer Park. Well, you talk about those two players. When you look at Aston Villa's starting 11, all of them are coming from historic national teams. You have French national team players there. You have English national team players. Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers are a couple of players to keep in mind for tonight's game. Ollie Watkins, in the last 5 seasons, he is one of the top 3 goal scorers behind Mo Salah and Erling Haaland. You've probably heard of those two players. And Bill, you mentioned the ball doesn't get tired. Aston Villa isn't a team that typically is going to switch the ball or cross it too often. At least looking at last year's Premier League season and their stats, they're going to play in between the lines. Their 4-2-3-1 can sometimes turn into a 4-2-2 with those wider players kind of coming inside. So they have a 4-person midfield playing with that double pivot. Looking at that game at Louisville, I actually looked up the weather. It was 90 degrees. And I know anytime these Europeans come to America, they're always talking about the weather, whether it's 75 degrees or 80 degrees. So tonight it feels like 93 degrees. And speaking from a hobby jogger's perspective, when it's hot outside, your heart rate is going to spike up. And that is something that these players and the staff here keep a really close eye on. You always see them wearing those heart rate monitors. So you can expect, as you said, Bill, a ton of substitutions.
Second half chart.
Yeah, tons of changes, but you can expect both teams to still play exactly the same way. David Critchley has talked about this being an opportunity for players to impress and to show what they're capable of playing against a Premier League team in Aston Villa. So whether it's a full change, you can expect those players to come in and try to do the exact same thing that those first half players were doing, whether it's pressing, trying to play some exciting soccer for the fans here. We're going to look at some of them warming up. August 16th is the start of the Premier League, but I believe September 1st is when the transfer deadline day ends, and we were talking about this. Aston Villa made a ton of signings last summer. This time, only one around, so they don't have as much rotation as you'd expect, but still a ton of players. I think one thing that you're seeing in this game is exactly how St. Louis City SC wants to play in MLS. You have Aston Villa pressing forward, trying to get those turnovers, and that's what led to their first goal. That's exactly how City SC wants to play. Exciting soccer, taking those turnovers and turning them into goal opportunities.
Rogers is not going to miss like that inside the 6.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers, clinical finish. Aston Villa getting those quick turnovers and, like I said, turning them into goal-scoring opportunities. City SC, they found some success, particularly coming down the wing play.